accidentally sweet popcorn, which I've never had. I've only ever had salty popcorn because that's what popcorn is. So I'm kind of scared. It's like having regular popcorn, but someone accidentally spilled syrup on it. Don't love it, don't love it. We have been having the worst luck lately, okay? It's so funny because I saw this comment on my video, I think like 1 or 2 videos ago, and it was this girl who was like, Jessie, I love you, and I'm so glad you have so many story times and entertaining things to tell us, but can you be positive for once? And I looked at it and I was like, you know what, yeah. Like, I do need to be more positive. I need more positivity in general in my life. I need to stop with the horrible, like, sad thumbnail pictures. But the thing is, none of it's clickbait. It's all just happening to me constantly. I don't know if like I was birthed and someone pointed at me and was like, you're gonna have bad luck, but it just kind of happened. A couple nights ago, I went to my sister's birthday. She was having it at this restaurant that was like an hour and 15 minutes away from us. Now, I can't drive at night because I was diagnosed with something called visual snow syndrome. To give you an idea, it's like I'm constantly seeing snow everywhere in my vision, like speckles everywhere. Almost like I'm living in a 1930s movie constantly. Now, I've had this for about 7 years, so usually it doesn't bother me unless I'm driving. Because when I'm home and I'm seeing speckles, I can kind of just tune it out. It becomes my normal. But whenever like the lights go off, or like when I'm going to bed at night, or if I'm driving in the dark, it just makes it so much more difficult to see because it's already dark, and then I have dark speckles everywhere. So Ty was doing his last shift at the store. So I was like, okay, I'll drive to the store, I'll meet him there, and then we'll take his car and drive the rest of the 40 minutes to the restaurant. Made sense because then I wasn't driving too much. Anyway, we go to this restaurant. We have an amazing time at my sister's birthday. The food is delicious. The people are wonderful. We have a great time. We're there for like 3.5 hours, okay? So we're leaving the restaurant at like 9:30 at night. So it's like pitch black, can't see anything. Ty and I get in his car. He drives me back to my car, right, in the parking lot where we met. I get out to go drive home and I'm terrified because I'm like, I can barely see. And I realize I don't have my keys. Can't find them anywhere. We look all through the parking lot. We look all through the store. We look through my purse. We look all through Ty's car. Did it fall on the seats? No. I'm panicking because I don't want my car to get towed. I don't want to get ticketed. I don't want to leave my car in the middle of a parking lot overnight. And so we call the restaurant and we're like, hey, did my wife drop her keys there? And the guy was like, I don't know. And Ty was like, do you mind checking under the tables or checking her seat or checking out in the parking lot for her? And the guy was like, don't really have time for that. I'll call you in the morning. And Ty's like, we don't have time for that. We need to know now. Anyway, the guy wasn't very helpful, so we had to drive all the way back to the restaurant. And Ty was able to find my keys. They were soaking wet on the ground in the restaurant parking lot in the middle of the night. It's like 11 p.m. at this point. My bad luck did turn into good luck, but it just seems like everywhere I go. We can't just have a normal thing. And then we had another gas leak 2 nights ago. So now we have to get rid of our gas range stove and get an electric stove. And like gas ranges look so much prettier. Like look at that blue kettle on that beautiful gas top range. We have to pull that out and get an electric one now. This is gonna be the end of the complaining for today's video because I don't want any more comments from people telling me that I'm not a positive person. Like I really want to be. It's just like, you know, like I said before, you guys are like my venting source, my family, my diary. So that's enough for today. I swear I'm gonna eat this very strangely tasting popcorn and then I'm gonna take you into my basement, which also sounds really weird. Okay, so here's the deal. I am only making this a big deal because this is basically a tradition. Every single house that I've lived in, I've done a basement tour, okay? My parents' house, I had the haunted basement tour. My sister and I even did a 24-hour challenge down there. When I moved into my first house, I did a basement tour, and then when I moved into the previous house we just left, I did an empty basement tour, and that basement was humongous. And so I was like, you know what, the tradition has to continue. So in this house, I have to do a basement tour. Now, I have to admit, it's a little underwhelming. This is the smallest basement of all the basement tours that I've done, okay? I've got to say, there's nothing haunted about it. Are basements creepy? Yes. They're spooky. They're dark and dingy and, you know, a little bit moist down there, right? I don't like going down in the basements, okay? And it's just funny because before I show you guys like any of my actual house that is decorated and looks really nice, I'm showing you the dingy basement, okay? But it's tradition. We can't stop tradition, okay? If I get another house in the future, I have to do a basement tour. That's the rules. That's the rules. We can't change the rules, okay? So let's go and do a basement tour. Guys, we're heading down into the depths and Tumnus is probably gonna watch me from the top of the stairs. He has always been too afraid to go into basements, and same with Winnie. The dogs just never liked basements, and I don't know if it's just because the stairs don't have carpet or if it's because they just don't like basements, you know what I mean? Okay, so here we are first. We have our cold storage. This is super interesting, isn't it? Okay, let me spin the camera around so you can see. So it's just a teeny tiny room in here. Look at my shadow. Hey, oh, hey. We got our sump pump, and then we're planning on putting shelves in here to like put food and like maybe a chest freezer right here. But I mean, that's it, guys. It's a very small little storage room. So stairs with the little boy up there, and then over here you have a tiny little hallway, and there's so many storage boxes in here that we have not gone through from our old house, so it's just packed with stuff. And like, it's a big room, it's just a small basement, if that makes sense. So like when we go to renovate it, it'll probably be like a bedroom. We have like an area we can make a washroom, but what would be really cool is if we made it into a theater room, but that's probably not gonna happen. So here's your view of our very cluttered basement. Quality content, guys, quality content. The previous owners left their Canadian flag for us on the wall, which is wonderful. That is where we had to turn off our gas line to the stove so we didn't have more of a gas leak. And then we have like a little area under our stairs that I think we should close off and put a door so it could be like Harry Potter, okay? So when we have a guest over that's like, oh, I like Harry Potter, we can say, we have the room for you. And then they get like a little tiny bed under the stairs, and then like every once in a while we'll bring down like a tray of food, but like they're not allowed to leave, which they might call 911 on us, so maybe that's not the best idea. And here she is. Here's our little under the stairs compartment, which will be actually pretty good for storage. And we have our little dehumidifiers going right now to make the basement less moist and musty and dingy and creepy, hopefully. So yeah, there's not a lot to it, and I actually like that it's smaller because I don't know if you guys agree, but like when basements are smaller and there's like less places to hide and walk around, it's actually less scary. Does that make sense? Comment down below if you have a large creepy basement or if yours is kind of like very small and compact like mine. Do you even have a basement in your house? I did not know, because like in Canada, everyone has basements. Like it's not a thing to not have a basement. And I didn't know that there's places in the States and like all over the world where people don't actually have basements. And I'm wondering what that's for. Is it for like flooding risks? Like what's the reason for that? I'm actually very curious. Tumnus is watching Ty come home. He has a little window. Who's home? I was just telling them that he loves his little window to watch us through.
You just love spying on everybody, don't you?
He loves to spy.
We got the goods.
Wait, do a haul.
The nog.
Eggnog.
And some chips.
Chips, ice cream.
And some makeup wipes.
We're being super healthy.
That's what we can do right now, honestly. We're doing what we can. The idea of limited edition ice cream is still a mystery to me. Just make it all year round. It's the next day now. We were supposed to film immediately after scooping the ice cream you saw just a little while ago, but we forgot. This ice cream's a little too good, so we just kind of dove into that, and then we had none, and then we're like, dang it, we have to wait until the next day. Anyways though, thank you guys for tuning in, and hopefully you guys enjoyed our, I don't want to really say underwhelming basement tour, but a basement tour nonetheless. I don't really know if I have a sign off or not.
Okay.
Jessie's just hiding behind the camera looking at me. See you guys.